How's everybody doing this afternoon? Well, I hope. I like practicing Tekken. It helps me focus on something else other than the stuff going on out in the real world and life. 'Cause life be lifing. Yes, it be. Life be lifing. I like working on the combos and going into practice mode and going online here and there and then streaming and cutting up clips. It's fun to me, so we do it. What makes us happy, makes us excited, energized. That's what we do. One of the things that energizes us in Tekken 8 is the ghost, as you can see. We're all about watching the replay and then challenging that ghost of our opponent, because we're likely not going to see him again. We might, but we grab their ghost and we usually bring him in and we go through defensive play against the ghost. We really try to steamroll the ghost, although it is therapeutic to beat up on the opponent's ghost who's crushed you in matches earlier. I will say, try it for yourself if that's the only thing you try with ghosts. But we definitely take a defensive approach and take it easy. The last talk I mentioned finding ghosts through the leaderboards and finding your opponent's ghosts, community tab, all that jazz. There was one way that I forgot to mention, which I wanted to talk about today in this video. So we'll get right to it. You're going to go to your online mode in the fight lounge. You're not going to queue up real quick through here and bypass all the fun stuff. You're going to go to a Tekken lounge. Yes, you're going to go to a Tekken lounge. And what you're going to do is, whatever region you're from, so we're in the States, we're not going to go there. We're going to select from a region. You have all these amazing regions around the world where there is Tekken servers. You know this well already. What I like to do is, I like to bounce between South Korea and Japan. Why? Because they say some of the greatest players in the world are made there. You have Pakistan, yes. Maybe that's Middle East server? I don't know. But I usually go between these two for my ghost initially. I don't know what other is. I've not, maybe it's Alaska, I don't know. But we'll choose. We'll see what's going on. Mind you, there's a time difference, so the lobbies might be different. Oh, you got a crazy lobby. So, you want to choose a region. I'm going to choose Japan. No airfare needed. I'm in Japan. I don't know what day it is there because I'm not sure the time frame. But you'll see a lot of the names are in Japanese. We have a pretty poppin' lobby. Let's see. And you can see a little bit of lag as it pops in as I'm walking around. Moderate. Now, what you can do, your first inclination might be to sit down and do a quick match or rank match. In most cases, that's going to send you to the server in your region and not to the region that you've selected, like we chose Japan. If you're bold, you can sit down at a quick match. So we have somebody here, a Vanquisher. You can sit down and you can play them. I'm sure they're waiting for somebody to challenge. And you can play a player from that country directly for a few matches, you see. Now, this is a notice. When you sit down to play, they will see the connection, so they will decide whether they want to play with you or not. It may not always be favorable based on the distance. But what you can do, and I do it often, is you sit down and you can choose to fight their ghost. I feel like it's one of the best ways to get a bit of a challenge from a ghost from another region or a player from a different region, as you might not be able to match up based on the connections. Choose the ghost. I've fought a number of ghosts from Japan and Korea, messing around. They definitely have the different styles. They definitely are a little better than the average ones you've seen, or the ones that you've seen me do from our replays. I'm going to try to fight this Marizo real quick for the fun of it. Now, I don't know this matchup. at all, but I'm gonna try to fight it. Now this ghost is putting in some action compared to ones we fought earlier today. Let's see. Can it get past the shenanigans? I don't know. Let's see. If I get past its shenanigans. Maybe. But definitely a route to go. Alright. Mind you, I'm not playing defensive. I'm actually, playing the ghost here. And I'm trying to see what I can get away with. Sometimes you can get away with things. Sometimes it'll be good at, say, low parries. And I think that's I find it, or consider it, an expression of that player. One of their traits that they, if I go to do something and the ghost low parries it, it's something that the player has a tendency to do well. So, the AI acts for it in that manner. It's like, oh yeah, they would have low parried that, or that's something that they would have caught. Like they're sidestepping. Nice. That guy's good defense. And well, the combo is decent. How did I miss with that poke? Oh, caught my grab. And it won one. I mean, no, it's not uncommon for me to lose the ghost. I've fought some ghosts where, yeah, they had the goods. A little trickery. Nice. Alright. Just something. And that match was just, something to show you what you can do, if you want some action. When I say action, sometimes you'll sit down to play and, well, you might want to play, but you don't want to play. You don't want to think. I'll say it. You don't want to think. You don't feel like entering ranked. You don't feel like entering quick play necessarily, but you know that you want to play some Tekken, and you might push yourself to play ranked or quick play. But no, you can come in here and come to the lounge, and you can find a plethora of players in all different regions, all different rankings of ghosts that you can just hop in and hit some buttons on. Maybe you want to work on your defense like I was with the replays. Maybe you want to work on your combos. That's something that I like to do, from the standpoint that when you are spectate, you might want to work on combos. So, like a lot of beginner players, they will work on a combo, just got the game, get their combo down, go into a match, and then realize they can't hit the combo. Why can't they hit the combo? They know it, but they haven't experienced it in a match with tension, this, that, the other thing. It's like the Benny Hill of Tekken matches happening right now this week. I'm just trying to catch up. So don't be distracted. That's it. You can bring your character into a match with a ghost, and you can simulate some of that tension with the ghost and work on knowing exactly when to hit your combos. Seeing the opening, you're seeing the launch. Why didn't it just wait till the end? It didn't show me. It showed us all that. Oh, it's still far ahead. That was wild. But again, you can work on your combo. You bring your character in. You know it. Now you're fighting in a match, and it's AI. It's simulated. You can pay attention. You can see when the openings are, when you're getting a launch, knowing, okay, now I can do my combo. And you have that moving opponent that's not causing you stress because you know there's another guy on the other line, the other side of the game, who's mocking everything that you do because you're new. Which may or may not be the case because you don't know what the other person's thinking on the other side. Maybe they're working on something themselves. This is something you can do with the Tekken Ghosts. You also can do this, spoiler, in practice mode just by choosing CPU. Sometimes if I'm working on it in there, I'll put the CPU on medium, maybe low difficulty, and I'll just spar with it. I'll move around, it'll be moving around, I'll try to implement my combo, or get my launcher, and then, okay, launcher, it's blocked, I can't do it now. Oh, I got it. And that's how you solidify your combo. And, you know, it's my method. You might be questioning if it actually is a good method, but I remember early on when the game came out, FDX, he was teaching somebody, I can't remember the girl's name, but he was coaching her, and one of the first things he did, he's like, you know, we can go into ranked, or we can go into arcade mode, and he, you know, to work on whether combos or different things, and he's like, you'd be surprised, there are pro players that work on their combos in arcade mode. I'm taking it a step further and saying, instead of arcade mode, go find ghosts. So they're all randomized. They're going to react to different players. It's always a different, you know, moveset that the ghosts are using. Passive, they can be aggressive. You got that variety there. Very similar to what ghosts. I got ghosts on the brain. Similar to what pros are doing, and not necessarily talking about. Because I did say that the PDF, could you go into that detail? His response back in the comments was pretty much, well, I said what they do, and they do what they said. So they fight, they just work on their combos in arcade mode. I was hoping he would go into a little more detail because not many people consider arcade mode a training mode for the game. It's casual. They're saying pros go into arcade mode and do this. Ultimately, during his training session, she chose ranked. You know, she wanted to hop right into ranked, which is cool. But if you have ranked anxiety, or you know, your feelings around it aren't comfortable, the ghosts are there, and it's a sound way that I've used to work on my combos and getting them to, after I know them, getting them to what I call gel. So now, with that, I will also say that we can watch the replays from the ghosts. Who would ever think that you can do that? So, we had our match in Japan with a Marizu, however you like to pronounce her name today. Ghost battle. Now it's going to tell you this here. You cannot choose a side in a player versus CPU match. Proceed. I'm here to say that technically you can, because when you stop it, you'll be able to choose a side. I guess initially you can't, but I'll show you what I mean. I was going to say, hopefully it didn't crash. That was odd. So, let's see what happened. I was plus 14 there. So, we're going to find a place to stop it. And left side. Oh, enable the controls for the left side character. Now I'm controlling the left side. Okay. Now make sure. See, she's negative 14 there, so we found a punish that the game has not told us about. After the 3, you can do your 13 frame, That's my 12. That's my 13. I can do my 10. What else can we do? Can we do this one? Yes, we can. That's a 14. Cannot launch it. So, essentially, we've taken a ghost. We fought a ghost from another country. We're in replays. We found a move where they're negative, we're plus, that the game doesn't tell you in practice mode, training mode. And we were able to practice said move and gain some knowledge. Now tell me that that is not amazing and a useful tool. It may not be the greatest tool. It's not for everybody, but it's there for everybody. That's the important thing. And we're just getting hit by all this other stuff while we're talking because it's hard to play and talk. But this is essentially something you could do after you play the ghost. So say you're not wanting to go into ranked match or quick match. And you're like, where am I going to get replays from? I don't play online. You're fighting ghosts. You can bring the ghosts into the replays, and you can go through those and comb through those. Just the same. The knowledge is the same. The experience is different. This might not be for pro to intermediate or superstar level player, but beginner, definitely. I think it's for everybody. If you want it there, I mean, there's different guys, but if you need something, it's there for you. It's something that you can do. And something I wanted to point out for this Tekken talk, because I didn't get a chance to go into this detail last week. And we're gonna stop it there on that one. Look at that, that's a duckable move that we wouldn't know otherwise. But there you have it for this week. Tekken talk, going back to Ghosts. This will be a part 2. I don't believe it'll be a series, but just to recap, you can go to your Tekken lobbies, go to the lobbies, choose a region. I chose Japan, South Korea. You can choose wherever you like to go. The connections aren't the greatest, so not everybody will match with you. But you can choose any player that's there and download and or not download. You can fight their ghosts. You can download their ghosts as well for later, and get to experience a bit of the playstyle from the other region. I usually choose, to make sure that I'm choosing somebody from the other region, I usually choose a name that's in Japanese or Korean, where I can't distinguish what it is. That lets me know they're not American, at least, or from the EU. And, you know, get your match together. And if you want to learn a little bit more, because you don't want to play ranked, but you want to review your replays and get better, review the Ghost replays. One thing I will say, do play different regions and play the region that you're in. I played so many Ghosts in the Japanese and Korean region that starting to play people and Ghosts in the American region started to feel off. And we'll say each region, like in the US, it might play a bit more aggressive. So the aggressiveness isn't present in Japan and South Korea, so those ghosts operate a certain way, and the American ghosts operate a certain way. So mix and match, mix it up. You know, figure out what works for you, but know that fact that people may play much different from your region. So you do want to choose some ghosts, or you know, if you do decide to go into ranked quick match, play those in your region to get acclimated to them. So that's this week's Tekken Talk. I hope you learned something. We'll be back next week with another one. But as for the ghosts, you know, go out there and, you know, be a ghostbuster like myself. Ghost of Destruction. That's what we have. We don't have God of Destruction. We have Ghost of Destruction. All right. So have a good one. Take care.